Okay guys, last time I showed you how to use fail evasion against an unactivated Windows 10 machine. This time we're going to use the same tool, Veil 3, against a Windows 10 activated and updated machine. And we'll see how it goes if we have the same outcome. I'm going to recreate the payload as I did before, and we're going to have a file called game1.exe. I'm copying the file to the web directory so we can reach out to this file through the web browser on the other end. In our Windows 10 machine, we can now download the file, but first I gotta start Metasploit and prepare a handler in order to pick up the connection from the target machine. I'm actually aborting this one because I don't need it. Okay, let's use the usual multi-handler. You already know what I'm talking about here, so I'm not gonna comment further. Once again, I stress here that you need to use the same localhost and local port as you did with Veil, otherwise the exploit won't be successful. We're now ready to download the file and to run it. Now, this warning looks a little different than before, probably because of the latest updates I installed on this machine. Nonetheless, it can be skipped. You go here and choose Run Anyway. Now, you can persuade the user to go through the warning like I explained the other time. I started the handler, and after several failed attempts I can get a session. You see I have an open session here. Now I want to migrate to a more stable process because this is the first stable session I had after a wide series of sessions dying on me, so I'm gonna perform this migration as soon as possible so I can keep my session live. Okay, let's background the session now. I'll need to perform a privilege escalation, and I'm gonna use the same exploit as the other time, which worked pretty good. I made a mistake in the session parameter here because I had actually a session open number 4, so I need to set up our parameter as 4 here. As a matter of fact, I always need to run this exploit a couple of times. The first time is almost never successful. Okay, we have another session, but now get system should work, and in fact we could get a privilege escalation real good. Okay, now I want to do something a little different. I want to grab the malicious file we created and use a malware packer called UPX in order to compress that file and add another layer of evasion. And I want to see what kind of detection results I have from Windows. I'm not very hopeful because this is a very well-known packer. I reserve to do this operation with a couple of different packers and see what's going on, but as of now I'm going to attempt using this specific packer. Okay, I compressed the file. Now I need to copy it over to Windows 10, and exactly I'm going to copy it to the web directory of Kali here. So once again I can access this file through the web browser. An important condition to perform this type of attack is to set up the virtual machine like this. Actually, I'm attacking a VirtualBox machine from a VMware machine. Both machines need to be in a bridged configuration, otherwise that's not going to work. You see, we had the same warning as before when we download the file. And let's see what happens when I try to run it. I'm gonna close the browser, I don't need it anymore. Let's set up our handler to pick up the connection like we did the other time. You already know what to do in this case. Of course, we need to stick to the same parameters here. That goes without saying. Alright, let's head back to our Windows 10 and now let's run the latest file I downloaded. And let's see what happens. Once again, we have the same warning here. I hoped for a different outcome, but anyway, it doesn't detect the file as malware, so this is good. We're anyway able to get a session and we can keep going like we did before. Of course, I did just that to explain you why I need another exploit here. So let's background the session and let's use the same exploit as before in order to achieve a privilege escalation. Same old here, of course. This time we need to set up the parameter as 1. We don't have a session. We have only one session, number 1. I need to go another time, same stuff as before. That doesn't surprise me at all. And we have another session. So we can once again understand what user we're logged in as and achieve a privilege escalation. That's all for today. I reserve to update this post by using multiple packers. But as of now, have a good one. Bye bye.